All right, so I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say you've probably heard this song before. And if you haven't, maybe you've heard someone play something like this. So in this lesson, we're going to start talking about two different kind of licks that you can play to start following chord changes along with the pentatonic stuff that you already know. It's super easy and it's just going to take you a few minutes to grasp it. My name is Jesse Glick. Really this is a 5-minute
to this channel already.
That's right. Do what he says. This is a 5-minute Monday. Let's get into it. So sometimes people get pretty nervous when it comes to playing through chord changes. All of a sudden they're like, wait, some chords don't work with the pentatonic scale. How am I going to get around that? And how am I going to play through chords where the pentatonic scale doesn't work? Now, in this lesson, I'm going to show you a couple licks that will help you out, with the hopes that you can take these licks and the ideas from them and make some of your own stuff. For people who've watched my channel in the past, they'll know how much I care about the third interval of a chord, either a major third or a minor third of a chord. In my opinion, it's the safest note that you can hit over any chord change to make it sound like you're playing something melodic and you know what chords are happening. All right, so if we're focusing on the thirds for our lesson, let's go over a couple licks that really target the thirds of chords. And I'm going to show you how to find them rather than thinking about what note is the third of a chord. Check it out. Let's say I have a chord progression that's G. We're starting with G. What I can do is find a G note on the B string, and then I can slide into that note on the G string 1 fret up. Okay, I haven't highlighted the third yet, so here's where the magic happens. I'm gonna bend a whole step up for my pointer finger. So in total, I'd have G. And then I can do this really cool thing where I grab the high E string right under that bend. So anytime I have a major chord, if I find the root note on the B string, I can make that lick. Let's try C. I'm gonna find C here and play the same lick. What if I have D? Here's D. Back to G. Pretty country sounding, but at least it's going to get you in the ballpark of finding those chord tones that work really well over a chord. So I've been doing some research, and if every single person watching this video subscribed to my channel, I could be doing this full time and offer way better content in the future. By the way, I teach private lessons on Zoom. If you want more information about that, shoot me an email at jesseglickmusic@gmail.com or follow me on Instagram, like somewhere right here. Anyways, let's get back to it. Before we talk about how to do this over a minor chord, let's go to the second example. This one's a bit harder to play, but it's still really cool. For this example, we need to know our bar chord shapes pretty well. So I'm gonna start with like a C major bar chord. So for this lick, what we need to do is take this bar chord shape that we know and replace the E string and the B string, those frets, with our pinky. So we'd have this. And then what we need to do, we wanna highlight this note right here, which is under my middle finger of a C chord. And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna bend to it. So instead of playing this, we're gonna bend here. And then we have our pinky on these strings. So you've probably heard that in a lot of country songs. Now, that is the same as me doing this. But the guitar gives us some access to giving it some flair, where I'll do this instead. So this again will work over any major chord. If I take this bar chord of an A chord, replace the E string and the B string with my pinky, and then I'm gonna take my ring finger 1 fret back and bend the whole step. So now C, D, and how about G? So this is a way that you can start playing around and following chord changes. If you're playing along to a backing track that goes C, D, G, just try that out. Or maybe this time for C you go, for D you go, and for G you go. All right, so that's most of the lesson covered, but what if you have a minor chord? What are you gonna do instead? Well, for this, you kind of need to know your relative major and minors. Kind of two ways you can do that. You can memorize it. You can know that C major is the same as A minor, D major, B minor, etc. Or you can find your root note. So let's say G. and then I'll go 3 frets back. So that's my relative minor, which is E. So I know it sounds complicated at first, but let's say I have an E minor chord. Well, my relative major is 3 root notes up from there. So E, F, F sharp, G. So I can play that G major lick over an E minor chord. Check it out. So it's the same lick I played over G major, but now I'm playing it over the relative minor. Give that a try. Start learning about your relative majors and minors because it's really useful for future stuff. Same thing's gonna apply for that other lick. Let's say I play this. So that's for C major because I'm playing. Now, C major and A minor are relative major and minors, so I could play that lick over an A minor chord instead. Same thing for D. D major is B minor, so if I play that D major lick, it's gonna work for a B minor chord too. So give that stuff a try. Typically in my lessons, I don't just teach licks because I don't want you to get in the habit of playing like the same notes over and over again. But for these licks, they really help you start thinking about playing through chord changes rather than just playing your pentatonic scales that you know. I'm doing these 5-minute Monday lessons every single Monday, totally for free. So if you want to support my channel, just subscribe and leave a comment if you learned something or there's something you want to learn in the future. I'm always keen to hear from you. For now though, my name's Jesse Glick. That was a 5-minute Monday. I'll see you in the next one.